Welcome to HDPP Live on a Saturday night to the UK and around the world with photos, memories and friends. This is HDPP Live. How are you this evening? Are you all well?
Hinckley District has been present for you, meeting friends old and new. Streaming Wednesdays and Saturdays too, with founder members Paul and Sue. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Film clips, photos, memories and friends helps a dreary night go by. Wearing Hinckley's 6 of the best, stupendous quizzical high. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Let's take you back in time. A community of men. We'll take you for a ride. Henson's Cab will take you there. We're making history. HDPP, chapter causes history supporting local causes. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Betty is our queen bee. The sweetest honey candy. Dangerous den here again. HDPP live.
No, still can't hear me. Oh. I don't know. I don't know whether you can hear me or not, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happens when you have the grandkids round and you haven't got time to prep. No. For some reason, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether you can hear me or not. You can hear me. Oh, well, if you can, right, okay. You are hearing things which I can't. Okay, if you can hear me, that's good. I can't hear me like I normally would in my headphones. But listen, hang on. No, is it that one? Is it? We're back. Thank you. My word. I do a jopalize for this just goes to show that this program is live. Yeah. Right. Long story short there, ladies and gentlemen, what had happened was in the week I'd had my computer out and a USB lead had come out the back. I didn't know that. So tonight, just before getting the grandchildren out of the way, I just literally switched on and went for it. Now, normally I sit and test everything. I haven't had chance because up until a few minutes ago, both granddaughters were sitting here. But now we're back. So good evening. I'll tell you what we do. Let's just do it about right. Hang on. Right, we can cut that bit out. Good evening. Welcome along to HDPP Live on a Saturday night. It's lovely that you're there. Yes, come on, they're good. It's all right. We can cut that bit out. It doesn't matter. Welcome to the programme, and thank you to everybody already that, like I say earlier on, that's just one of those typical things, that is, but never mind. Anyway, so into the chat room we go on this Saturday night. That's about as much screaming and shouting you're going to get, and you know what I mean, don't you? So anyway, John Denny's here this evening. Hello, John. Nice to know you there. Anne Hunt is here as well. Kath Denny. Lovely. Hopefully you're looking forward to a nice evening. We hope. Jennifer Richardson's here. David the Starnboroughs are here. Thank you, Starnboroughs, along with our Steve Gardner. Dave B says, I'm here too. I bet you he thought his internet was playing up as well. Russet's here as well. Nice to see that you're here, Russet. Plenty of time. Just a minute. Let's get my microphone set down to a bit more of a professional level. And David S is here as well. Dennis Perkins said, or otherwise Dangerous Den. He says, well, no, anybody fancy laugh in the chat? Well, you've had a laugh in the chat room tonight, that's for sure. 6 of the best, a few choice films, all pictures from Paul, and a nosy and an aniogram, all coming your way this evening. Absolutely there is. Next week, of course, we'll have a bit of a spooky nosy, I suppose. Well, actually, tonight's a spooky nosy. More details in a few minutes' time. David Allen's here from Lincolnshire as well. Dennis says, I'm Frit. Yeah, you might be by the end of tonight as well. And Carol's back. We don't know where she's been. Hello, fellow HDPers. I'm home now for my wandering around Cumbria. That's where she was. We did wonder. Well, it's nice that you're back with us as well. And Carol Beatty, we'll have to do it again then, shan't we? Absolutely we will. Jennifer Richardson, don't start pulling your hair out, Paul. I know that happened in the these early broadcasts that we did when we were all locked down. There you go. Anyway, I'm glad you could hear me, and like I say, I have now sorted out the issue this end. I know. Jeff Wallace is here, along with Clive Armstrong, of course, and Mary. Elaine Galloway's here. Oh, nice one, Elaine. Glad you're here. Alan Slater's here from New Zealand. A lovely, beautiful, sunny morning. We had a lovely sunny morning here in Hinckley. Actually, this morning, I was on air on FOSS 107 this morning, and if you did tune my way, thank you. Remember, I need all the listeners I can get, so thank you very much for tuning into FOSS this morning. So Mary Blake is here, and that concludes part of what's going on in the chat room at the minute. And of course, way up, Mr. Nose has just come in. Yeah, I'm having a well-earned bath after getting in from filming another Nosy. We're going to be frit tonight with his nosy, I can tell you. A week early, because we'll have other things next week to make you frit for Halloween as well. So that's good. Steve, glad you're here. All your fans have been missing you as well. So there we go. Now then, it's been a busy old week for HDPP. First of all, the Kirby's and the Crops are not in tonight. So if you want to put in your chat room what what we think about them, you can do that. They're not here tonight, it's all right. No, they're off hobnobbing again. Or as Alan Crop would say, we've had a better offer. I can believe that too. Okay then, in the programme tonight, 6 of the best, demanding the best of your local and general knowledge tonight. We'll be doing that. Of course, we'll have news on the prize draw. Have you had a go at the prize draw yet? If you haven't, we've only got a couple more weeks before we close it, and then we do the draw on the 12th of November. So remember to have a go at our prize draw. We'll be giving you the details in just a few moments' time. Hello to Julie Jeffcott, who's joined us. Hi, Julie. Nice to know that you're joining us this very evening as well. This time next week, by the way, we'll be at St Mary's. Look, we're doing an afternoon of old pictures and films. That is next Saturday afternoon. All money's raised from the ticket sales goes to the church, and obviously money sales from our HDPP goodies will come to the group, of course. And then the following week after that, on the 5th of November, we'll be back at St Mary's again with a little stall, once again selling our stuff and stuff. So please come along and say hello, because we love meeting all of our members, so we do. So, and just to make things a little bit more exciting, listen, how about, and you're saying, what are all these goodies about? Well, I can tell you. Even when the music's a bit loud, let's turn it down a bit. They go, okay then. So, this is what you can get from Jasper's. There's our wonderful Cicely Pickering print, all available to you. We've got caps, key rings and badges. Here they are, absolutely great, and all money is raised to our local good causes. We've got our fantastic, handsome cab tea towels. There it is. Does not need a plug, does not run on batteries. Yeah, I know, and our highly acclaimed local DVDs, yes, they're available. And once again, you can get yours from Jasper's anytime you are in town. These great posters of the Olympia skating rink, aren't they fantastic? They're also available at Jasper's. And starting now, Lynette Lee's book, the book called Slipping Away. Got news on that very, very shortly. The best of our street transformations, very popular. As you can see, our transformations work like this. When we do them proper. And there you go. Just giving you a few ideas is what those particular scenes on the street transformations actually look like. Yeah, isn't that great? Fantastic. All available at Jasper's. Go out and get yours ASAP. Super gifts for all the family. Wow, Paul, that looks so professionally done. Well done. I think I'll give myself a pat on the back. Oh, that was me giving me a pat on the back. Nice one. Okay then. Now then, other things we've been up to as well, as I say, prize draw stuff and everything. We're going to go through that, but I think probably the first thing we ought to do is do 6 of the best tonight. So now, what I don't know is where this is going to start tonight. I haven't had a chance to start it in the proper place. Maybe I can do that while I'm talking to you, actually, because if I just click this button here, it makes no difference to you, but it does to me. Trust me, I can see. Oh, it's going to start almost in the right place, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely incredible. Right, I'll just click this button back, and we'll say, right, let's go for our very popular Saturday night 6 of the best. Here we go. So, as we always do on a Saturday night, testing your local knowledge and general knowledge, and just seeing just how blooming clever you are, okay? So, and remember, do not put your answers in the chat room. Keep them to yourselves, right? Do that. And then at the end of the programme, we'll be asking you to honestly submit your scores. Yeah. And we'll see if anybody gets 6 out of 6. I don't think people will get 6 out of 6 tonight, even though some of the questions are damn easy. Okay. All right then. Let's go with question number 1. This is the one that's going to be a stinker. Where was Hinckley's very first public library? That's question 1. Where was Hinckley's very first public library? Just let you have a think about that a minute, okay? Where was Hinckley's very first public library? That is question number 1. Question number 2. Oh, Paul, stop it. What year did Hinckley's first telephone exchange open? Hey, look how I spelled exchange. Missed the X out. We know what it is. Was it 1899, 1903, or 1905? One of them is the correct answer, so that's our guess the date. What year did Hinckley's first telephone exchange open? You can see I've had no time to get this sorted, can't you? Was it 1899, 1903, or 1905? Yeah, okay. Going on to question number 3, general knowledge. What happens when you travel from east to west across the date line? Now, Jeff Wallace will know that, because he's clever like that. What happens when you travel from east to west across the date line? What happens? That's question 3. Question 4. There are 2 parts of the body that can't heal themselves. True or false? There are 2 parts of the body that can't heal themselves. Which is true or false? That's all we know. Okay, that is number 4. Here's our where am I? Where am I tonight? I am somewhere in the HDPP area, but where am I? I think I've left far too much of that. Far too much of that. I think I'm giving it away at that, but let's see how you do. Pat Galloway says, I'm letting my new missus answer the questions as she knows everything. Yes, where am I? Somewhere in the HDPP area. And of course, the bit you've all been waiting for tonight is the anagram. Abolishment arty haberdash. Okay, I wrote all the answers down. I hope I've still got the bit of paper here on my desk. I think I have. I don't know. Yes, I have. Right. So, abolishment arty haberdash. Rearrange that and it'll take you somewhere local. And the clue is a healthy drink. There. Let's go through it one more time, shall we? Question 1. Where was Hinckley's very first public library? Could be a bit of a stinker, that one. Question 2. What year did Hinckley's first telephone exchange open, or exchange, as it says there? Was it 1899, 1903, or 1905? And number 3, the general knowledge question. What happens when you travel from east to west across the date line? What happens? Probably vanish up your own... No. Now 4. There are 2 parts of the body that can't heal themselves. Is that true or false? Question 5. Where am I? Where the dickens am I? I think some of you should get that, I think, but where am I? Somewhere in the HDPP area. And the anagram question. Abolishment arty haberdash. Rearrange that. A healthy drink? But you'll see why when you get the right answer, the clue makes absolute perfect sense. So it does, trust me. We'll go through, of course, the questions a couple more times before the end of the programme. Okay then, now I'm falling to bits here tonight, so just ignore me as I fall about the place and totally not organised at all tonight. Anyway, now then. Meanwhile, back in the old chat room, indeed. Apparently, David Allen says Helen said hello to you. She's in Newcastle. Hello, Newcastle. Hey up. In Newcastle, wow, there we go. And Derek Price is joining us for a very short evening this evening. Absolutely. Ian Roberts says, I think I've got number 1. Yeah. And I see Maureen and Ray have come in since I looked in there. Oh, look, and here comes Jim Kirby as well. It's the Kirby. Hey, come on in, Jim. You're all right. Your brother and his wife aren't here tonight, so if you want to put something in, just do it, mate. You're all right. They're not in tonight. John Denny, got the anagram. You would. You never give me any. You just will not let me have my 3rd pint round at the pub on a Sunday lunchtime, will you? Okay, well, keep it to yourself then. Keep it to yourself, and let's see where we go with things tonight. Right, moving on quickly because we've got to do the prize draw. The prize draw. Oh yes. Oh yeah. A little bit of a jig now. The Grand Autumn Prize Draw, it's now in operation. If you haven't got your tickets yet, come on. We've only got 2 more Saturdays at this, and then it all closes down. The draw takes place on the 12th of November in the live stream. Now, let's see what we've got for you. a couple of Christmas decorations, either to hang on your tree or indeed to hang where you like. It doesn't really matter, trust me, but they are very, very nice. We've got a 2023 Hinckley Burbage Bosworth photograph calendar. This calendar is guaranteed to last every day of the new year. Can't be much fairer than that now, can I? There's a nice little clock, a beach clock with a lovely beach scene, ideal for putting in your kitchen or something like that. Now, moving on, this is Russet's contribution, a crocheted blanket. Honestly, I can't get over how nice this is. It really is super, and you could win this, absolutely. You could also win it. Now, Carol Beasley wants to win this. Yeah, she does. This is, well, basically, it's a little desk tidy. But look at it. Looks like a Volkswagen jobby, doesn't it? Yeah? Well, a Volkswagen VWT Rot stiff shifter box, I think that is. I hope that says shift. There you are for your desktop. Absolutely. David Attenborough, the absolute broadcast god of the wildlife world, and there it is, 4 DVDs waiting for you as well. And we've got these gift vouchers as well. Now there's a couple of Asda gift vouchers, and there's a Bowden gift voucher for £50, and there's a one for all, it's a Musketeer card, a one for all multi-store card. I think that's £15 you got on there as well. They're all separate prizes in their very own right. Okay, moving on. Couple of picture frames, always handy to have a couple of picture frames, and these could be very well hanging on your wall very soon. And a fabric pin cushion kit. Yep, there you go. Stick your pin in that, missus. Oh, but if you're very arty crafty, Carol, yeah, you'll probably make good use of such a thing. Now, Space Rail. This is a big boy's toy, really. Actually, you build this like railway space rail, you know, and then you send these little balls around it, and they do somersaults and do all sorts. Great fun. And remember, some of these could be Christmas gifts. They'll probably think, well, I won't make no use of that. Maybe your grandchildren can. Who knows? You've got to be in it to win it. Here's a lovely gift set, and it's great, really. Look, a tie clip, cufflinks, and a watch in this lovely gift. Presenting this lovely gift box, and that's yet another of our wonderful prizes tonight as well. A handbag? Yes, a handbag, so it is. Whether you dance around the disco with this, I don't know, but it does exactly what it says on the tin. Another useful gift to have is this document holder for travel documents. Put all your travel documents and stuff in there, and that could prove very useful to you. Now, £50 is the second prize, kindly donated by MI Installations. We thank them very, very much indeed. Well done, MI Installations, for your support. So £50 cash, second prize. We've paid the band again. They're going to play again. And your top prize, £100 in cash. Yes, that lovely Wonga could be yours. Remember, someone is going to win this £100 for £1. For the stake of £1, somebody is going to win £100. Absolutely. So all you got to do is have a go, and this is how you have a go. For every £1 you donate, we will put a ticket with your name on into our drawer, and there's all the details. Look. Now, if you want to pay by cheque, you can do. Make them payable to Hinckley District, past and present. If you're local, you can put your cash in an envelope and pop it through the door with your name and address on, so we know who shoved it through the door. But don't send cash through the post, please. And of course, there is our address as well. And like I say, you've got to be in it to win it. All proceeds go to our local good causes, which we will, of course, be awarding in February of 2023. We will soon be asking you to perform nominations for your local good cause for next year. All that is coming up. Okay, right, okay. Cut the music. Right, let me see. Let me find you something to watch now. Now, I've had to get all the housekeeping out the way first. We've got a nosy coming up with Steve, a spooky one. Actually, I think I've got a... Yeah, thank you. Next week. Yeah, so we've got coming up a little bit later on this evening. Now, meanwhile, over in the chat room, you see, Kath Denny, I've got the where straight away. So they've got the anagram in the Denny household. They've also got the where in the Denny household. Let's see whether they can get on with the rest. That's right. Absolutely. Right. Okay. Now then, what I've got lined up for you firstly, I found this lovely little, very informative film. We did a Kirby Muxloe Castle not so long ago, but I found this was very informative. So let's go over to Kirby Muckhole and get a real lowdown on the history behind it.
Behind me is one of England's greatest castles. Well, I wouldn't really say that, but it's one of the most beautiful. Kirby Muxloe was never finished. It's a castle that was meant to be an incredible Tudor building, but the person who organised the building of it actually was executed inside the walls of the Tower of London, being the first high-profile person to lose their head within one of history's most infamous prisons. Join us today as we look at the remarkable Kirby Muxloe Castle, one of England's most forgotten castles. Remember, as always, to support our channel, please make sure to subscribe. So one of the amazing things you notice about Kirby Muxloe Castle is the beautiful moat that surrounds it. It was a castle, like I said, that was never completed, and there's only really two parts of the castle that have been finished. The first being the gatehouse, which was built first initially as a way of securing the castle, and the second is one tower which sits in the corner, but the tower itself was never really used. Like I said, construction on it stopped very suddenly following the execution of a man called William, Lord Hastings. Kirby Muxloe Castle began its construction in 1480 on the site of a former manor house. William Lord Hastings was a favourite of King Edward IV and was a prominent member of the House of York during the Wars of the Roses. He was a chamberlain of the royal household and gained a lot of land across the Midlands. He first of all moved his seat of power to Ashby-de-la-Zouch Castle nearby, before he then decided to build a huge castle at Kirby Muxloe. The king authorised this, and then Kirby Muxloe Castle would be surrounded by a huge deer park of around 2,000 acres. Whilst the castle was being made, the original manor house was protected and used as the castle was built around it. A workshop that made around 100,000 bricks a week was set up, and these were then brought over from Flanders. The work progressed quickly, and at the busiest times 40 men were working on the construction, and at least one corner tower had nearly been finished by 1483. But following the death of King Edward IV, the Princes in the Tower debacle occurred, with their uncle Richard III seizing the throne. William Lord Hastings was unable to support the declaration that the heir Edward V was illegitimate, and with this Richard III summoned him to the Tower of London. During a meeting, Richard III berated Lord Hastings, before he then had him dragged out of a room before he was executed by an axeman, who struck his head off on the cobbled streets of the Tower. Hastings became the first man executed inside the walls of the Tower of London. Following this, his widow tried to continue some work, but the project of building Kirby Muxloe Castle was halted. Around 1.3 million bricks had been laid, but only one tower was created along with the gatehouse, which was habitable also. With the execution of Hastings, the building of Kirby Muxloe was completely abandoned. It would have been a beautiful castle, with 4 towers in each corner, surrounded by a moat, and also protected by a gatehouse with a number of cannon in place to bolster the defences. But as you can see, it's a beautiful room, but would have been an absolutely immense castle. It's a beautiful surrounding. So as mentioned, the only part of the castle that's completed is this tower behind me. You can see it's about 3 stories, and it is completely colossal. And there would have been one of them in each 4 corners of Kirby Muxloe Castle. So we're now in the gatehouse, one of the only parts that was completed, and this is where guards would literally patrol and check what came in and out of the castle. You can see there's lots of different cannon holes to protect this part of the castle, and this is one of the only parts that was nearly finished. So we're now in the upper part of the gatehouse. This would have been a huge building which was meant to make Kirby Muxloe feel really intimidated. It's been fitted with a number of key things to add that. First of all, if we have a little look over here, we have down here a portcullis, and that would drop down and secure the castle. You can see this is where it went here. You can also see some other strange things as well. For example, we have 2 fireplaces, one there, and also one at the other end. We have some beautiful windows, that would have allowed guards to look out the front of the castle over towards the moat. We have a number of different turrets as well. We also would have had some big windows that would have looked out onto the inner bailey, so guards could check everything what was going on here and sort of keep the castle under control. What is cool about the upper gatehouse is that each of the turrets offer a different view of the castle and what's around. So for example, in here you'll see out towards the moat, so if there's any invaders or attackers, but also they have different rooms as well. So if you follow me this way, we have another room looking out onto the bailey, but also the most important thing in the medieval castle, we have the toilet, and that would go straight out towards the moat, taking all the human waste away with it, which would mean that the moat would not be blue and have beautiful water in it, it would have human waste. Not good. However, thinking about it, if you had a moat filled with human waste, that's probably quite a good thing, because it means your enemies aren't going to want to swim through it, adding a bit more security to the castle. But we're inside another tower and you can see a beautiful view. Here. What's great about the view from up here is you can see what the castle would have looked like. So in the corner we'd have another tower over there. We also have a few, you can see the foundations of a few other buildings here. There'd be another tower over there as well, all surrounded by this lovely moat. So from here you have a lovely view of the gatehouse and also the only bit of Kirby Muxloe Castle that was finished, the tower in the corner there. By looking at the tower in the corner you can really see how big this place would have been. You can imagine one of them in each four corners. Currently where I'm sat as well, there would have been one as well. You can see that the foundations were built, but obviously it was never finished. So this is the West Tower. This is the only part that was finished. It's an absolute maze of doorways, fireplaces, and it would have been accommodation for very high profile guests. It was connected by one central staircase, and each room has a toilet, showing how high profile these people were that were intended to come and stay at Kirby Muxloe Castle. It's believed possibly that King Edward IV was intended to come and stay here, and it would have been here where he would have came for a visit and slept if this place had ever been finished. As you can see through there's some stairs that will take you up to the upper bit. We can see we've got a chimney as well there, which would have heated all these different rooms. There's one here in front. There's crenellations on top for defence, meaning that guards would probably be up there patrolling. So I hope you've enjoyed our look at Kirby Muxloe Castle. As always, to support our channel, please make sure to like, share and also subscribe to the Fortress. Thank you for watching.
And there we go. Oh, and then it was gone. There we go. I like that because it gave you, actually went in the castle, went round having a good nosy, our Steve. Didn't he just? Lovely stuff as well. I've still never been to Kirby Muxloe Castle, by the way. Something I really must do. And on a day like that, look gorgeous, actually. Must do that. Now, anyway, meanwhile, back in the ranch and back in the old chat room, you can see lots of people chatting away in there. They are. Jim Kirby said it's Mike and Jan's 50th wedding anniversary coming soon to a place near you. I know. We're looking out for that, absolutely. The drinks will be on them, so we'll all go. And it's lovely to see everyone chit-chatting away. And people also doing pretty well with 6 of the best, apparently. but we will see. Do you want to see the questions one more time? I think we can do that. Okay then, so let's go through the questions one more time. We'll give them one more go after this, and then that'll be it. So this evening, question number 1. Where was Hinckley's very first public library? I don't think many people know it, but we'll see. Where was Hinckley's very first public library? The building still stands today, but probably not where you think. Okay, then, so where was Hinckley's very first public library? Okay, guess the date. What year did Hinckley's first telephone exchange open? That should be exchanged. Yeah. Was it 1899, 1903 or 1905? One of them is the correct year. You'll need to look that one up, I'm sure. Our general knowledge question. Now, what happens when you travel from east to west across the date line? Quite technical, but I'm sure Jeff Wallace will know that one. What happens when you travel from east to west across the date line? Question number 4. There are 2 parts of the body that can't heal themselves. There are 2 parts of the body that can't heal themselves. Is that true or is it false? We will find out a little bit later on. Number 5 is Where Am I? Kath Denny says, I know where it is. Right, okay, but do you know where it is? Interesting stuff. Chances are you've probably been in there at one stage or another. But anyway, Where Am I? That's where we are tonight. And over on the anagram, abolishment arty haberdash. Yeah. And the clue is, and for those of you that have got it, you've got to think, hey, yeah, okay, a healthy drink. I think there was quite a good little clue there. Okay, then. So don't put your answers in the chat room, but we will ask you to total up your scores a little bit later on. Okay, so that's our 6 of the best this evening. Okay, just a reminder about our prize draw. Please, if you haven't had a go, I know lots of you have, but if you haven't, you've only got like 2 weeks. And remember, someone is going to win £100 for £1. It's as simple as that. A mere £1 ticket is going to get the 100. We don't know who it is yet, but there you go. Excellent. Right. Dennis Perkins, Dangerous Dan said, how am I supposed to know where you are? Some days I don't even know where I am. Well, you see, that's too much Nookie Brown, mate. That's what that is. Anyway, and Kath Denny saying, that was great, referring to the video we've just seen this evening. She says, we went round in lockdown, so couldn't go in. And David Allen said, I like that video of Kirkby Muxloe Castle. Like I say, I must get over there and have a go, see what it's all about. Right, now, 2 things. I've got a film here which I'm going to show you in just a minute. But before that, remember last week, and we were looking at the film which we've shown once before, showing you the Edwards building being built and everything and whatnot. Well, if you recall, actually, it was quite somewhat jumpy, a little bit jerky, and it is unfortunate. That's just the way it was. Well, I'm delighted to say that I have managed to get it sort of smoothed out, and it's a lot better now. So probably next week I might stick that in so you can see the finished results. But it is actually a lot more stable. It doesn't jump about so much, more smoother, and I think that's going to be well worth watching again. I think you'll appreciate it. It's a long story how we had to do it, but I won't do that. Anyway, David B says, look at that at the bottom here. Look down here. Look, Dave B, clueless on the lot. David, it's no good. You've been away too long. Well, just have a stab at it. Have a stab at it, okay? And it doesn't matter. Just have a go. That's the best thing you can do. Right. Another new film that came my way, and I'm going to show you just some of it now because we won't have time to show the whole lot. And it come from Michael Edwards the other day. And not the Michael Edwards that was in charge of British Leyland in the 1970s. Although, am I showing my age now, folks? Possibly. Actually, Michael Edwards, he brought a load of cine films around. And 1 or 2 of them, he said, you might find 1 or 2 little bits on there, he says, but they're predominantly family ones, which they were. But we did find this never seen before footage taken at St. Peter's Barbecue. and it is pretty good. So I'm going to just run a little bit of it and then let you see what you think about it. I think it's quite cool. And for those of you that can't remember St Peter's Barbecue, it's a great yearly event. We've mentioned it many times in our live streams before. But as I say, this particular bit actually comes over very well. And I think as guys will appreciate the drinking competition. Here we go. So we get over to the gents drinking competition. Here we go. Do you see any faces you may recognise from your childhood maybe? But look, these guys taking their drinking very, very seriously. And we come back to this throughout this little film, and indeed the winner, which you will also see. But you can see what a massive popular event. Look at the crowds watching these guys drinking. They used to call this, of course, they used to call this a boat race. There wasn't a boat anywhere in sight. It was just a race. Who could drink the beer quick, and then the next person would go on, and then the chap at the end would say finished. And some guys had a real good go. And look at this gentleman, a little bit of experience there. And even you'll see these little mixed montages where the guy that obviously filmed this deliberately double exposed the film. So we've got Morris dancing there, and you've got faces that appear. So you have to sort of look through the picture to see the different layers going on. All very clever at the time, because when you think about it, this was not the digital age. This was all analog. So to get this sort of effect that you're looking at now was sort of, it was crude, but it was very clever to do. So sit back and enjoy this sort of wonderful trip down memory lane. Sometime in the 1960s, there wasn't a date on the reel of film, but the film quality itself has come over very well indeed. I think people today would be absolutely delighted if you've got this amount of people at a function that you were doing today. I think everybody, I mean, look at that crowd, absolutely great. There's little Don the drummer. I remember him. He used to ride a push bike all around the town. He also played drums in the pantomime for a little while as well. And of course, Molly Badham was also there with the monkeys, of course, the chimps I meant. You know what I meant. And we're going to see them very, very shortly. But once again, look at faces in the background. There might be somebody you remember from long ago. Of course, these children, of course, will all be, well into middle age now, I would have thought. And but look, real prams. The babies are comfortable, look. It is, as it said here, David Blower said, it's a different world. Absolutely. And even the ladies, look how they've dressed. I mean, they're just really, really nice. And this is obviously the baby show, and looks like somebody here. There is the lineup for the baby show. You see, baby shows were so popular. Well, you can't do those now. They won't let you do them. What sort of a world have we created, eh? But look at these lovely children. I mean, and some of this footage would be absolutely gold, pure gold, to the families concerned that you are looking at now. So, Molly Badham, who was a regular at St. Peter's Barbecue. And of course, these chimps were famous. They were the famous T-chimps, the PG Tips chimps. And of course, they came from Twycross Zoo, just up the road. And of course, they were one of the main star attractions in the arena. And look at the penny arcade things. You don't see them now. They are real true museum pieces. And look at the crowd. I keep going on about the crowd. It was so well attended. This obviously is a year when the high diver was not appearing. And I seem to remember there was a date in the 60s when he couldn't make it, but he made it the other years. And of course, you had the people that set these things up and packed it all up at the end of the day. And of course, these things can't take place without willing hands. And behind, you can see in the background was the beer tent. We can't have beer tents now. Walter Bass. There's one of his trucks in the background, Ian Roberts. And here we are on Leicester Road, outside the front of the church. A couple of the main men, and there's the view, obviously, of the church, how it all once looked all those years ago. The barbecue was there to help pay for the church. And it's hard to think that today that's all gone. It's just a memory and a new church built in its place. I hope you've enjoyed this bit of nostalgia. It's the very first time this film has been seen in the live streams. We've never shown this particular film. What I'm really pleased about is the quality of the film and how well it's come over. It really is super. There we go. And our thanks go to, of course, the Edwards family, Mike Edwards in particular from Stanton. Thank you, Sapcat indeed. Thank you very, very much for giving us that. And lots of comments in the chat room about that. As I say, and you can see, Dave B said it's a different world now. And also Jim Kirby said this is brilliant footage, and to be thousands of miles away and enjoying this is fantastic. Jim, it's what HDPP is all about. I have to, if I say so myself, I love old footage, and I like to get it and show it to people because it brings the memories back. And it's usually little things. And keep the likes coming, please. You can tell Mrs. G has now joined me, but it's what people like, and they just see it. And although they probably weren't at that particular event, it's probably got memories for them in some particular way. So I'm very keen always in finding old photographs, which is why we do our scanning once a month, getting films like that. And it's what keeping history alive, which it's all in the song, and that's what we do it for. You know, other groups, other heritage groups all around the country, they do their thing, but we do it our way. Hopefully it's a little bit different, and I hope that you do indeed enjoy it. There we go. Keep those likes coming. Jennifer Richardson, wonderful Paul. I'm feeling old now. Well, I see that, and I'm seeing faces, and I thought, I remember that face, you know, and Kath Denny said that was a lovely film, thank you. Pat Galloway, love that, thank you. Good. Yeah, Jennifer, I'm with you, said Anne Hunt. Okay, lovely. And Clive said, that's lovely to see. Absolutely. And as I say, it's come over really well. Next week, I might rerun the Edwards film because that is really smoothed out now. We've managed to get it very more watchable, let's say. Okay, keep the likes coming. Please. All right, thank you. So, have you done? Yeah, she's done. Right, okay then. Let's go through 6 of the best one more time because then we're going to have our nosy this evening. And I know that 6 of the best, some people are struggling somewhat. And I shall be very surprised tonight if anybody gets 6. But who knows? Let's go for it one more time. Here we go then. 6 of the best. Question 1. Not as easy as it first sounds, I would say. Where was Hinckley's very first public library? Could be a bit of a stinker there. Yep. Question 2. Guess the date. What year did Hinckley's first telephone exchange open? It's exchange. I know it's a spelling mistake. Doing it quick. 1899, 1903 or 1905. Question 3, general knowledge. Now, what happens when you travel from east to west across the date line? Probably vanish up your own backside, I think. I don't know. 4, true or false, there are 2 parts of the body that can't heal themselves. Is it true? Is it false? Number 5, where am I? Somewhere in the HDPP area. But where is it? And some people do know, yes, well done. But we'll give you the answer later. And the angiogram. Abolishment arty haberdash. Can I give you a... I'm trying to think of a bit of a clue. The clue I put there was a healthy drink, which if you have already got the anagram, you'll think, that's not a bad clue, Paul. That's not a bad clue. But you look... there's a road name in there. That's all I'm going to say. I'm leaving the rest to you. There is a road name in there, but we'll have to wait and see. But as I say, Dave Blower said, I've given up on the Granima. There you go. We've not finished yet. We've got another film to go through before we give you the answers on that tonight. Right, okay. Oh, Kath Denny, that's very kind of you. She said, we love your live feeds and catch up at the Greyhounds. You do a wonderful job, Paul and Sue. Thank you, Kath. That's really nice of you. And, do you know, I think your husband's great. You know, he's done that book for Hinckley with all those rare pictures. I think absolutely fantastic. Be nice when he publishes it as well. It'll be absolutely brilliant then. Get on to him. Right, time for a noser. Our noser tonight. Absolutely. It's going to make you a bit frit. But you will see. As I should have saved this for next week, but I've got plans for next week's broadcast as well. So I thought we'll put it in this week. Stand by. Here we go for our nosy this week with Mr. Nosy himself. It's Steve Picker.
What you heard? Oh, Steve heard voice. I've seen someone. Definitely seen someone. I think you pair. There's a conspiracy here that I ain't in on. I'm telling you. Hello, hey up and hey diddling. My name is Steve. I'm blind because I've got a torch in my face. And look who we've got. We've got everybody's favourite tribal elder, Delighted Dave.
Here we are.
Who have we got here? Hey up, we've got the pissed up priest. Look.
Sober today.
Sober. Well, yeah, we won't talk about that. I think you got it.
Saturday night when we should be down the pub.
I know.
Chucking down with rain.
What we're doing out here, lads?
Oh, I don't know.
I'll tell you what we're doing. Right, we're over near we're at Baddesley Enser in North Warwickshire, just over the Leicestershire border. And it's dark, as you can see. I ain't chucked a quilt over the sun or out like that.
It's raining.
Yeah, I know, Dave, I know, it's doing my frigging head in and all, but what can you do? Anyway, can you remember, cast your minds back a few months ago, start of the summer, we went and found that abandoned graveyard at St Peter in the Rushes, near Rempston, not far from Loughborough. And it was very interesting, enjoyed that. It went down quite well actually on the channel. People like that. It's morbid curiosity, isn't it? Well, anyway, we've found another abandoned graveyard. I found it many weeks ago online at Baddesley, very old, and that's where we're going now. And do you know what I can't see? This light's blinding me. So, right, let's get over there. It's windy, it's raining, and I want to go home. Right.
Who's Rachel?
Who is Rachel?
Who's Rachel?
Alrighty then, so before we carry on our exploration of this old graveyard, I best show you where it is. And as you can see there on this Google map, there's the red mark. That is showing us roughly where the old graveyard is today, on the outskirts of Baddesley Enser. Now the village itself of Baddesley, it was actually a medieval village back in the day, donkeys years ago. And it was most likely around the outskirts of this old church and graveyard. But as time went on, the village moved to the east, and they built a new church in 1848 after demolishing the former church in the same year. And the new church is called St Nicholas, and I'm not certain, I think the old church, the Norman one, was called St Nicholas as well. But as you're about to see now, we've got an amazing photograph to show you before we go and explore this area. And here is the said photograph. So I just about finished editing this video, And delighted Dave sent me this. I'm not sure where he got it from, to be honest with you, but it's a great photograph, and it's showing us this former graveyard where we're going exploring for this video this evening. So when you look at it there, it's not really that overgrown, is it? Now, I'm assuming that this was taken in the late 1800s, early 1900s, because, you know, the original church that was in this graveyard, of course, was demolished in 1848, I think. So for many years afterwards, these graves would have still been tended, and as time goes on, they stop being tended, and then all of a sudden the place is overgrown like it is today, as you're going to see in the video shortly. But there's a particular grave there in the centre that I'm gonna flash this photograph up again a bit later in the video, because I think we actually found this certain grave, but I'll show you a little bit later. But fantastic stuff. Anyway, because we know what we're doing as per usual, let's get on with it and go and have a nosy. And guess what? We need the map, because do you know what? We don't actually know what we're doing. We're bloody useless. Well, delighted Dave and Steve are anyway. Only joking, lads. Top bananas, the pair of you. Lost again.
Lost again, yeah.
Yeah. What we're doing?
This is forward planning, this
Right,
is.
you're 59, I'm 38, and Steve, how old are you, Steve?
45.
That gives us about 145, 50 years worth of nosy experience.
And we lost.
And we ain't got a Scooby-Doo where we are or what we do. Right, bad as the friggin' ends are. Right, Watery Lane.
It's raining.
Well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Right. Viewers, can you see that? We're stood about there somewhere. Yeah, so it's up there. it's up there somewhere. Right then, so thankfully we're not far from this bloody graveyard now. I mean, we are not right, David.
We are not right, Stephen, no. Oh, Steve, we are not right.
We are definitely not right.
No, we ain't.
40 years of experience here and still not got it.
Well, yeah, and that's just you on your own.
Yeah, that's just me, the tribal elder.
Well, yeah. But no, I mean, these places, I don't know, since I was a kid, I've always been fascinated by old graveyards. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, exactly. My sentiments, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to like them. We're going to end up there ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if how you're going, you will, sticking your head in places, I tell you. Do you know what I mean? Right, so we have all just split up, and it didn't take long before Steve shouted over, I've found it, so he's just down here. It's bizarre here, you know, you wouldn't think there was a churchyard, a graveyard here. I mean, just look how much bracken and debris there is, but Steve has indeed found it. So, wow, look at that. Straight the way, look at this. Wow.
There's one straight behind as well.
Yeah, this is bizarre, isn't it? So, who we got here then?
Oh, bloody hell, this is bizarre.
I told you it was worth coming here. Look at that. George Hall, who departed this life August the 15th, 1823, aged 63 years. Wow. Fantastic. What a piece of local history that is.
1780, Steve.
You got, mate?
1780.
Wow. What, when they departed? Yeah.
826.
Yeah, I knew there were going to be some old ones.
Another one, pointy one.
Wow. Look at that.
this is
What's that say on it, Dave? They're hard to read when you're trying to film,
The
isn't they?
remains of Hannah Hodge, Joseph Hodge, who departed life July the 26th, 1780.
Yeah, one of them were only 26, look, bless them.
Yeah, and another one 8 months, look.
8 months, yeah, bless them. Amazing place. There's quite a lot here, I think, as well, Steve.
There's one up here.
What, a pointed one, did you say?
Yeah, straight one.
So you've got to watch your step. It's awkward at night, isn't it? Here we are again, Dave. Middle of nowhere. About 9 o'clock at night, 20 past 9 on a Saturday night. You see, you were cheesed off because it started raining as well.
Got 3 or 4 here, look.
Wow, yeah, look at these here. Bloody hell, let me start up the far end here. Right, so try and be as respectful as possible here as well. There's one behind me left shoulder and all, so right. To the memory of, I'm not sure, Letitia? I'm not sure if that says Letitia, I'm not sure. July 1813, aged 62 years, she passed away, unfortunately. So yeah, amazing. We'll look at those other ones shortly, but we've got one here as well. Look, was that the one I seen when I came here? No, I've not seen this one. Joseph Bede of Baddesley, who died June the 18th, 1830 something. Yeah, it's missing and there's a bit chipped off, look. So he was 80 years old. So imagine what he'd have seen back then. Crazy. It's amazing, isn't it? What once was, eh?
Yeah, it's mad that it's just hidden away like this.
Yeah, the people that have come before us, eh? Yeah, this one's very hard to read, actually. We've got one here, died December 1790. So yeah, age 29, that
30
says.
years old. It's nothing, is it?
No, it's not.
35 years old.
Yeah, 3 years younger than me. Wow.
No year on that one, is there?
No.
Oh, we've got to pay these respect a bit, haven't we, really?
Well, you have. I mean, you know, there's obviously no family around now that come down here. Well, there might be, you know, people who look at the family tree and what have you. They'll come, won't they, and have a
You
look.
can't read that one at all, so...
No, there's a lot of lichen on that one there, isn't there? Fascinating. Very bizarre place this is. I mean, of course, we've been to St Peter in the Rushes, between Eastleigh and Rempston, you know, many months back. It was in June, I think it was. Feels like 2 years ago now. It's flown by. But there's something about it. You know, these people who were walking amongst that are buried beneath us feet up here at Baddesley, you know, these were walking about, you know, 250 years ago. And you know, before, you know, all this technology we've got now, these, you know, this 1000 lumen torch that I'm holding in my hand, this mobile phone that I'm making a video on, these people didn't even know what a video was, let alone a mobile phone. So extraordinary, to be honest, you know, how time moves along. But you know, they're still here reminding us that there were here once walking this land and probably working this land. And do you know what? Awful lot of mining went off in this area as well. So you can wager, you know, some of these that we've just seen would have been maybe working down the pits, you know, the men, and sometimes women were as well, weren't they, as well as young children. So it's crazy, and I'm now blinding myself because I keep looking at this. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, certainly makes you think a bit when you find these places, especially when they're overgrown like this is. Right, got a few more in here.
One here.
Wow.
One next to it there, like a thin, skinny one.
Yeah, yeah.
Bizarre.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, that's well intact, isn't it? Right, Thomas Newbold. Died September the 26th, that's my birthday, 1837, aged 66 years.
You did well, didn't
Yeah, he did back then. Yeah, they're all over the place, aren't they? Buried amongst the undergrowth. It's a bit sad, really, don't you think?
You've got this one here, look. One there, look.
Yeah.
Is that half one, or has it just got a bit?
It is broke off, yeah.
Right, I see, yeah. Mary Mellington, I reckon that says, you know. But like you say, it's been chopped in half, isn't it? Yeah, shame that.
There's one here, Steve, look. It's all on the phone.
Oh yeah.
That's in good nick.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to. I'm gonna struggle reading that because it's got all this in front of it, isn't it? Yeah, that's a shame.
Have a look.
Hold on, let me get behind you. Look, hold on. Yeah, thanks for that. Whiplash to the nose. Right, it's a big enough nose, isn't it? Oh, 18. Yeah, you heard it here first. Right, what's that say? William Holland of Whittington, the parish of Grendon, who died October the 10th, 1846, aged 73 years. Also Anne, wife of the above. And I can't read the rest of that apart from 1846, so...
I think we've come across another Holland here on a gravestone.
Have we?
I think so. I think there's one in there as well.
Is there? Yeah, I'd like... Hey, help me caps come off. Yeah, I ain't going to get in there.
No.
Can you read it?
Oh, look.
Hey?
Right. Oh, I just thought I saw someone.
Oh, don't start with that.
No, I just did. I thought I was just seeing someone in there.
Hey?
Right.
Hello?
Quiet a minute.
You pulling my leg?
No. Oh well.
Oh, whatever. If they're there, they're there. Right then, so after a bit of walking about, looking at the graves, it looks like we have stumbled across some foundations here, and I'd wager that this is the old church, the Norman church of St Nicholas. I think it was called St Nicholas. Yeah, it is in situ, mate. Yeah, definitely. You all right, mate? No, but we've got the older foundations here that I think is the church. I mean, you have actually got bricks here. Now, they won't be Norman, but they could be 18th century or, you know, early 19th. You know, this church was demolished in, what was it, 1848, so... Is that stone there, Steve,
Yeah,
or is
stone.
it brick?
It's not brick, it's stone.
Yeah, so, yeah, for me, this is the old church then. Part of it. Or an outbuilding, but I mean, churches don't really have outbuildings as such, do they? So, yeah, for me, this is the church site. And it carries on, look, so yeah, for me, it looks like it's... this is the old church that we're in. Definitely, yeah, look at that. I'd say so. We do have some fun and games, don't we, Steve?
Yeah, that would also explain the dip, because that dip would be the
What?
croft underneath.
Is there?
That would be the undercroft underneath the church.
The Undercroft?
Yeah, I
Is
would
it-
say, because you'd always have a basement in a church.
Ooh, one for the shovels. I mean, this here, it could actually be a wall to the church in the graveyard, actually, what we're looking at, because it continues up there, so... Depends how big it was. Right, so we've got here John Crossley and Eliz, I assume that's short for Elizabeth Crossley. October the, what does that say? 33rd, 31st, 1852. Yeah, fascinating stuff. Also Edward Crossley, son of the above, who departed this life
This one's 1769.
1820 something, I think that says. You what, mate?
1769.
Is it? Hold on, Dave, I'll have a look in a sec. 1769?
Yeah.
Is that when they were born or when they died?
Departed 1769.
Wow.
Aged.
That's the best
aged
part.
100, aged 10.
Oh, that's a shame. That's the best part of 30 years before the Charmer Forest Canal were built.
Yeah.
Nearly. Amazing. What these people must have witnessed and seen in their time, you know.
I've got a feeling this is off the church, look.
Wow, look at that. Was it part of an old grave? Look, it's got a bit of a carving, writing in it, look.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
There's a 10-year-old and a 16-year-old in there.
Does that look like a gravestone to you, Steve, or like Dave says, off a church?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, it's Sunday tomorrow, I can ask somebody.
Yeah,
EC.
EC. What you heard?
Oh, Steve heard a voice, I seen someone, definitely seen someone.
I think you pair, there's a conspiracy here
Yeah,
that I ain't in on.
I'm telling you. What did you see, Steve?
I just heard something move, like crack, crack, crack.
You pair are doing my head in now.
Well, I'm not a big believer, Steve, but something spooked me here.
Pissing it down now, isn't it?
Let's go back to it.
It's because it's dark, it's nearly Halloween, and we're in a graveyard. So I've not actually heard anything yet. What you found? Yeah, there's loads of little random stones. I mean, there will be, won't there? You know, with the church being demolished in 1848, there will still be reminders of it here. So it is very boggy down here, isn't it? Very much so. Right, so Steve heard something over here. So I don't know if there's someone down here messing about. I ain't got a Scooby-Doo. I haven't personally heard anything.
It spooked me a little bit, but like Steve said,
Spooked ya?
it's because we're at night and we're in a bloody graveyard like normal.
That did make me jump, man.
Bloody hell, Steve.
Oh, bloody hell, that did make me jump. Woody the Woodpecker's haunting the place, isn't it? Oh, God. Right, are you satisfied? There's no note there.
Yeah, there's nothing here. Like normal. Normal.
Right, here's an interesting one here then, so... Yeah, all overgrown. This might have been someone important actually, Dave.
Yeah.
Judging by the style of it, I'm not sure. I don't want to go wading in there, clearing undergrowth. I'm not going to go in there. You've got to respect it,
It's all
haven't
the way
you?
to here, look, but there's no headstone.
Yeah,
It would have been in the middle and it's fell all in.
yeah.
I guess it would have been a cross in the centre.
So we haven't seen
Right.
that one back there then, Steve.
No,
These are all
but
new.
there's one behind us here. Look.
Yeah.
So people, you can see, look, the path here. People clearly walk down here. Right, so we've got some more here. Now that one's unreadable, pretty much, which is a shame. Very well weathered, that one. There's one down there that's been broken multiple times. Look at that. I don't really like saying it's an amazing place because it's not, well, in terms of its history, it's amazing, isn't it? But yeah, fantastic stuff.
Truly is.
Right, what's this one say? So, what's quite interesting here, you've got someone called Joseph Thompson of Baddesley, who died November the 13th, does that say, or 15th, 1867, and he was 83 years old. Now, what's interesting then, there must have, because this church was demolished in 1848, so they were clearly still burying people here. Do you know what I mean? So, and that was kind of the same scenario at St Peter in the Rushes, north of Loughborough there, where I went a few months ago. They were still using it, but, you know, 1867, it's still a long time, and, you know, this chap was born in, you know, 1780 something, I think. Probably, yeah, 1787 he'd have been born if he died in 67. No, he's 83, so 1784 he died, I think. So.
Especially only one fancy like that.
Right then, well that concludes this evening's video. I hope you really enjoyed it. It's something a bit different. Well, I say a bit different. I've done one of these graveyard videos before, but absolutely fascinating. Baddesley are not in the middle of nowhere, but it certainly feels really lost and empty tonight because it's dark. And
We are the new Ghostbusters. Something strange in the neighbourhood.
Who are you going to call? The Pissed
Let's
Off
explore.
Priest. Yeah, you might want to call them. You might want to call someone else as well. But yeah, absolutely fascinating. It's bizarre.
It's just, you can't help but pay them respect. It's
Yeah, but that's the thing, and that's why you think, because that's where we're going to be one day.
Can't really say much, to be quite honest. It's just one of them things. One of them
I know what you
noses.
mean. Do you know, like, it's weird. I was having this conversation with Vanessa the other day. Do you know, I mean, YouTube won't be here in 200, 300, 400, 500 years' time. I wouldn't imagine it'd be something else, but I wonder if our videos will still be floating about on whatever it's called then, the internet. Do you know what I mean?
No reason why not, is it?
So someone might find a video of ours and go and find our graves
Yeah.
and go for a nose at.
We'll be in somewhere like that.
Ain't that a nice thought?
Yeah.
It's a bit sad.
We haven't seen them all.
We probably ain't seen them all. There's so many buried in there, ain't there?
There's so many children died. 20 months, 15
yeah,
months.
I know. That's what that gets that pulls my heartstrings a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we start roaring,
Yeah.
thanks for watching. I'll see
thanks,
you again.
everyone.
See ya. Bye bye.
Bye.
And there it was, gone. Oh, yeah, scary stuff as well. That's very interesting, actually, Steve. And like I say, you never feel whether you're quite alone in those places, but you shouldn't be frightened. They can't hurt you. Simple as that, really. No matter what your particular beliefs might be, I'm sure. Now, also, I was waiting for somebody, and Gary Betterley, I knew he'd come through with something. In the name of the Father, the Son, and into the Holy Ghost. I was waiting for that from Dave Allen as well, absolutely. But a great nosy, has to be said. An absolute super nosy, that. And I think really some of those stones that you looked at, Steve, particularly, like I say, 80 years old, that would be, in them days, a very, very old person. Today, 80 is not seen as old in the sense of the term. So yes, like you say, imagine what they would have seen, what they would have witnessed in their lifetime and stuff. So these are places of reflection. It does make you think and and it certainly puts your own mortality to the forefront, doesn't it? Absolutely. But that was a good one. We could have done that next week in our Halloween special, but well, we're going to have other things on as well next week. So all spooky thoughts and ghouls and stuff, whatever. Let me just remind you that on Wednesday night's our social night. We've got a guest speaker. Please come along, otherwise he's going to look very silly standing there on his own. Paul Williams from the Burbage Heritage Group is going to give us a talk about the history behind the Burbage War Memorial. Now, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be really, really good. So please come along and join us for an evening of fact-finding fun. I think it's going to be really, really good, actually. So please come along because we could do with more people coming to the socials. Please do. Yeah. Anyway, after we've done all that, my word, we're getting to that part of the programme where we're going to go through 6 of the best. So before you'll put your scores in, let's go through those questions and we'll sort them all out. But anyway, and by the way, in the chat room, let me just put the chat on, that's it. By the way, in the chat room, as you can see here, look, David Stamber says, it's a great night, cheerio, he's off. We haven't even given him the answers yet. Steve's saying, thanks everyone. He says, never seen or heard out. It was just them pair, frit to death. You see, you can only be frit round this part of the world, can't you? That's true. But lots of people, Steve, enjoying that. You can see from the comments we've got there. So well done. We look forward to your next one. I wonder when we were putting the odds on the other night. We're saying, what will we see first? The Leicester Swannington Railway vid, or will we see John Denny's book? And it's looking like the Leicester Swannington Railway is going to be at it again. All right then, come on, let's do it. Right then, let me get into the right part of the thing. So we're going to give you the answers now. So my first question to you was this one. Where was Hinckley's very first public library? Now, some of you, I've got a feeling, will be put in like Station Road and things like that. No. It was not there. Did you know that back in 1860 something it was, I read this the other day, that the very first public library was actually in the borough and it was in what would be later Liggins' shop. So Liggins, I mean it's a game shop today, so I'm looking for the borough. Oh, well done, Maureen Harris, where the old Liggins was. Yes, above Game World, says John. Yes, well done. Good. Well done, John. Well done, Maureen. And Ian Roberts. Actually, more of you have got that right than what I thought. I thought that's a curveball. That'll upset them. Well done. Let's go to question 2 then. So give yourselves a point there. Guess the date. What year did Hinckley's first telephone exchange open? Exchange open. Was it 1899, 1903 or 1905? Well, of course, it all come about when we actually had the new, what was then the new General Post Office. So we're looking at 1903. 1903 was when we had our first exchange in Hinckley. So there you go. No, sorry. It was definitely 1903. Okay, just let that catch up a bit before we move on to it. So if you got that right, well done. So that would be 2 points if you got that. General knowledge. Now, I'm waiting for Jeff to answer this one. What happens when you travel from east to west across the date line? Do you vanish up your own backside? What do you do? What does it do, eh? So now John Denny's taken me to task on this. John Denny said the HT site. You don't believe anything that's on the Hinckley Times site? Oh, no, I can tell you now. My reference point for this was A Glimpse of Stocking by the late gentleman, and it was definitely 1903. I can assure you of that. Moving on, I'm going to go 1903, because that's also when the new GPO was built as well. It would make sense, right? So what happens when you cross from east to west across the date line? Go forward in time. It said actually, time travel. You actually lose a day. David Stambler says gain a day, lose a day. So I'm going to go for lose a day. But if you put gain time or whatever like that, I'll give you that one. Yeah. In Roberts, you might end up like the Oozlum bird. Yes. Okay. Let's move on to our next one. True or false? The two parts of the body that can't heal themselves. No, well, actually, the answer is false. Only one, and that's the teeth. The teeth can't heal themselves, and we should all know that. So, answer to 4 is false. John Denny's straight in false. Look, I think he's typing out all the answers, ready to press. So, John Denny correct, Maureen Harris correct, David Allen false as well. So, well done. Give yourself a point there as we move on to number 5. Where am I? Go on, I'll let you type it in. I'll let you type that in. Somewhere in the HDPP area. I know the Dennis have got this right. Yes, I'll rate it for Kath. Stony Stanton Working Men's Club. Not now, though. Exactly right. A friend of ours actually lives there now. He's done it all out and he lives there. But I won't name him. But anyway, there you go. Stony Stanton Working Men's Club is indeed the correct answer. So we're in Stony Stanton tonight. I wonder where we'll be next week. Right, the anagram. Quite a few people, a lot of people getting it right. Some people just couldn't get off the launch pad on this one. So would somebody like to put the answer up in the chat room? Because abolishment, arty haberdash, and the clue I put was a healthy drink. And the answer is, from John Denny, Ashby Road Mineral Baths. You see, Ashby Road Mineral Bath, a healthy drink. So as in baths, as in for health, and mineral as in drink. I can't do it no more. Anyway, Carol Beezer says, well, 3 for me. David Stambler, 4 out of 5. Listen, I think that's quite well. I wouldn't complain at that one, to be totally honest. What's anybody else got? Let's see if anybody else has got. Jennifer Richardson said, totally failed tonight. And Dangerous Dan, only 2, including the anagram. Listen, it doesn't matter. We're having fun on a Saturday night, and it's all part just taking part. 1 for me, says David Allen. John Denny, HT would give me 6. Seriously, John, I will scan the bit from Michael Roberts, who wrote The Glimpse of Stocking magazines, and I read it in there, so that's where I went on that one. 4 out of 6 for 4 out of 6 for Paul Glover. Well done, Paul. I'm glad you're with us tonight, Paul. It's strange without the Kirby's and the Crops, isn't it? But listen, they missed out and they've gone off, so there you go. And so well done to everybody for having a go. So, well, John Denny will agree. We'll sort of agree to differ there, but you know, yeah. John Dennis Poker says, look, John's not going to let it go. No, if he was more determined about getting his 6 as he would be about getting his book done, we'd all be a lot better off, wouldn't we? Glad everybody. And a big fat 0 in Turkey from Jim Kirby. Jim, I'm really, really pleased you've joined us tonight and taken time. And I do appreciate that when we do the clocks next weekend. Yes, it's next week we do the clocks. It's going to make it more difficult, but like I say, you can catch this, although it won't be live. You can see it on our YouTube channel, so you can watch it at your leisure. But it is nice to do it live because you don't get the fun like we did tonight of the microphone not working and me suddenly having to get down underneath this very, very desk and to find the problem and then come up. But it was all live, and that's what makes it fun. It's like when you're doing the radio. You know, when you're doing it live and something goes wrong, it's how you get out of it and fun. It's great. It's great. Anyway, now listen, Maureen Harris, don't you get agreeing with John Denny. I'm going to post that. I am going to post Michael Roberts' article. I will put it and tag you 2 in it about that because that's how I got 1903. So there, Headmaster's putting his... I'm putting my foot down with a firm hand. Right, that's just about it. So once again, reminder, if you haven't had a go at the prize draw yet, please do. All the details in this particular video. All monies to our local good causes. We've also, like I say, got our social night on Wednesday. Please come along. We need the support at the social nights. And... Dennis Perkins says, by the way, Paul, you scrabbling around under the desk was the highlight of my night. I bet half of Hinckley and half the world was laughing about that. They were fun. Listen, I don't care when things go wrong, they go wrong. It's what you do. It's not a perfect world. Now, let's face it, we know that. So there you go. And it looks like lots of people are getting ready to leave now, as you can see, just by in the chat room, people saying cheerio, good night. From me, it's the very same. It's been a bit of a funny old night, but we've got through it in the end. But like I say, we can cut all that stuff out at the beginning later, no problem. Anyway, until next Saturday night, when we'll be having our annual spooky local stories, of course, our ghost stories of local ghosts, etc., etc. We'll be doing that next week. Hopefully, there might even be another nosy. If not, we'll have to find something else then, won't we? But I'm sure we can fill out next programme as well. So looking forward to that. So until then, remember, thanks very much for watching. To keep it HDPP, keep it live. Until next week, take care. Ta-da. Oh, the mic's still working. Oh, hello. Where have you been? What are you doing back here? I was just about to pack up and I thought, oh, they're bound to want something here. And they always do. For the regulars know to hang around, because this is the part of the programme we never ever talk about. But for those of you that know, hang around. You get a few dad jokes as a little bit of a bonus. Yes. Ha! So, let's see what we can do this evening. Are we all sitting comfortably? Are you sure? Here we go then. My first girlfriend was a tennis player, but she broke my heart. It was like love meant nothing to her. Yes, I like it. Yes, thank you. That's not bad. That's got us off to a good start. No. My wife keeps having disturbing dreams, shouting things like Hobbit, Gandalf, and Mordor. She's always talking in her sleep. Talking in her sleep. Oh. Wasn't that good? What's the difference between ignorance and apathy? I don't know and I don't care. That's not bad, okay. What do you call a nervous javelin thrower? Shakespeare. Yeah, they're getting there. They're getting there. And now a sad story. I grew up in a rough area. As a child, people would cover me in chocolate, cream, and put a cherry on my head. Yes, life was tough in the ghetto. Couple more. I just broke 2 of my dad's old Queen records. Now I want to break 3. Oh, here's a naughty one. What did the brass say to the hat? You go ahead and I'll give these 2 a lift. Nearly done. God, I can't. I'm on a roll tonight. Why was the baby ant confused? Because all of his uncles were ants. Why did the picture go to jail? It was framed. Last one. It is. Stop it, the last one. I was sleeping at my girlfriend's house last night. Her dad wouldn't let us sleep in the same bed. It made me proper angry because he's actually really handsome. And on that note, take care. See you next week. Ta-da.